WFG is World Financial Group, and we, like I said, we don't own any products. We have about 77 financial companies. These are A-rated companies on our platform. So think of WFG like Amazon. Amazon doesn't own any product, but anybody could go on Amazon and sell something. Or think of WFG like Uber. Uber doesn't own the car, but anyone can get on their platform and use their car to do Uber. Or think of Airbnb. Airbnb doesn't own the house. They don't own the real estate, but they're able to, you could put your house on the platform and rent out your house. So WFG is the platform for all financial services from birth to burial, right? So we do everything from birth to burial when it comes to your personal finance. Now, our core value, we lead with God, right? We lead with faith. We believe in faith first. And this is what I love about this business. When I was in corporate America, you can't talk about God, right? You can be open about it, but guess what? We in the churches, we praising, we doing whatever we need to, because the churches need financial education too. From the pastor straight down need to understand, because the Bible talks about it, you know, we should leave an inheritance for our children. But like, if we don't understand money, how are we going to leave anything for our children, right? And then this business is heavily focused on family. My aunt is in this business. I had a conversation with my dad yesterday. He's like, Odetta, I'm going to come on board. I'm so proud of you. So we believe in family, right? At your job, they may not want your sister working in the same department with you. Here, it's the opposite. And this is a business that we own. Once you become a senior broker, senior marketing director, you can pass your book of business to your loved one, right? But they need to be licensed. So I don't have any kids, but one day my nieces and nephew who are going to grow up into this business, and one of them are going to get a license because we have a couple of them. One of them will continue the work that I've started. My aunt Yvonne is on this call right now. One day, maybe her daughter or her granddaughter is going to take over this business. And we're going to pass the baton, right? Because we own this business. At your job, when you die, well, it goes, right? And then we believe in dreaming, integrity, leadership, teamwork, and tons of recognition. So let's talk about some challenges. Well, 68% of Americans are not on track to retire. And even if they have a lot of money, it's sitting in the wrong buckets. That's because we never learned how money works to make the money go work for us harder, right? So 60% of Americans get diagnosed with illness, one being the leading cause of financial stress. Well, guess what? When you're stressed out and you got health issues, that is not a good combination, right? But here we're going to teach families how to build a solid financial foundation, that it doesn't matter what happened. If your health fail, if you pass away prematurely, or if you live too long, we have things in place to make sure that it doesn't matter which wind the wind blow, you're going to be standing on solid ground, okay? And then 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Listen, we know this. The stats are there. This is why most people, they're opting for a part-time job. What I've been telling people lately is don't go for a part-time job. Get a part-time business, because there's so much deductions and tax write-off with a business. When I go to Costco and I'm buying a case of water, how do they know the water is going to my office or is going to my home, right? I can tax write it off. When I'm driving to go see my mom, how do I know I'm going to my mom or I'm coming to my office? These are all, you can tax write off with a business, but you cannot do it with a job. When I fund my 3 IULs, how do they know? Or, these are all things that I can tax write off, right? So there's so much more opportunities starting a business, right, than getting a part-time job. There's nothing to write off with a part-time job. Now, 84% of people say they want to work somewhere where it matters. My team members tell me, oh my God, Daddy, you're always so hyped. Yeah, because I love this business. I love educating families. I love teaching people and helping people make better choices with their money, because I didn't know this information 8 years ago. And now I know it. I'm going to be on the mountaintop screaming, okay? Even if I'm hoarse, I'm still going to scream being hoarse. So Change is possible, guys. We are here on a mission for financial education. We're not selling anything. We're educating families. We're teaching people how to manage your money, because a lot of us are working. Then we're 65 and we got $1 million in the 401k, and that $1 million is going to be taxed heavily. And now we got to deal with Uncle Sam, which we had no idea. And then we got to deal with the stock market crashing, which again, now we're going to end up working longer. Why? We didn't know what we didn't know, right? So here you're going to understand how money works so you can make your money work for you. Your future's not in the hands of your employer, your union, or your government, but it should be in your own hand, right? I fired Jason, my financial advisor. The minute I came on board here and I started learning about money, there's no way Jason could have told me or teach me what I learned here. Because number one, Jason is working for Wachovia. Wachovia doesn't have certain strategies. No, they don't educate you. They don't educate you. How much money you got? We're going to invest this money. That's it, right? Just making my money grow for me. And then when the market go down, when I'm yelling at Jason, he's like, oh, Dada, you're young. You're going to make it back. I don't want to lose. I don't care about making it back. I don't want to lose. So the future's in your hands. So now we're going to talk about 3 rules of money. Because guys, money has rules, right? The first rule is how we're going to get our money to double. Don't you want to double your money? We all want to double it, but what is it? How do you double it? Well, Albert Einstein, one of my favorite uncle, he created the rule compound interest. And it tells us to understand how to calculate how your money is going to double is the percentage. What percentage are you getting? So you're going to take 72 divided by the rate of return, which is the percent of interest you're getting. So when people say to me, oh, Dada, I'm good, I'm saving, that don't mean nothing. Saving means nothing. Like, let's talk. Where are you saving? What's the interest you're getting, right? Because you could be saving in a susu. I'm Guyanese. That's all I hear, susu, right? So if you're getting 4%, 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. Your money take 18 years to double. Like, what? No. But let's go to the far right. Let's say you're getting 12%. Well, now your money's going to double in 6 years. So you could have 2 people coming from Guyana. One is getting 4%. The other one is getting 12. And then when they're 36 years later, one is like, they meet up in border market. And one saying, yo, I went to America and I did real good. I got 40,000. The other one go like, wait, only 40,000? I got 640,000. What do you do? You got to know where to put your money. You got to know where to put your money to get that 12%. And then the second rule, we're going to see what that is, right? So the first rule, if anybody tells me, oh, that I'm saving, that don't mean nothing. That's great. But what interest are you getting? What interest? So that's the first thing. We're going to look at the interest, right? The second rule deals with, how is the money growing? Because, yeah, we saving. We're getting that 12%. But guess what? Somebody waiting for you. Somebody waiting for you, right? So if you put your money in a checking, savings, CD, stocks, mutual, well, you get taxed when you got paid. You put the money in these accounts, and as the money grow, because we want it to grow, now you're going to have to pay capital gain. They didn't tell you that, right? No, they didn't tell you. It is what it is. I'm here to educate you. Tax later, so you have your 457, your TDA, your 401k, your 403b, your IRA, annuity, pension, TSP, all good, but there's better. Because you see, with these accounts, Uncle Sam doesn't want to tax you on the seed, okay? He don't want the seed. He want to tax you on the harvest. And we all know the harvest is a good thing, right? The harvest is a bountiful thing. So if you're going to pay tax on the harvest, well, you're going to pay more in taxes. How much? You don't even know. So all of we that running around here, I got a 401k, got a 401k, got a 401k. The question is how much you get to keep from your 401k. I don't know that. I don't know what the tax is going to be when I'm 65, when I'm 70. Okay. So would you ever borrow money and don't know how much you're going to pay in taxes? I mean, in interest. Like, we don't do that. But we're doing it with these accounts because we don't know what we don't know. And what we don't know is going to cost us when? Well, it's going to cost you in your later years, right? And if you're under 59 and a half and you want to take some money out, it's going to charge you a 10% penalty. What? Yes. So why do I have to pay a penalty on my own money because I'm under 59 and a half? And everybody's doing it and everybody thinks it's okay. No, it's not okay. That's not what the wealthy are doing, right? And then, oops, what did I do? Let's go back. Change is possible. The second rule is we got to protect the money. We got to protect the money. We got to protect the money. So we're growing it. We got the high interest, but we got to protect it. So a lot of us are going to be growing, that I'm doing good, good. Okay? And I'm like, okay, that's great. Let me see where you're saving your money. Okay, so you could save it in a fixed bucket, which is the bank. We all got the money in the bank, right? It's safe, but it's not going to grow a lot. You might get your 3 year, 4 year, 2 year, 1 or 0.0. You get in that interest, you're losing. You're losing to inflation. If you get in 4%, you're keeping up. But ultimately, you're still going to lose because inflation, if inflation keeps going up, well, then your interest got to go up to keep up with inflation, right? But it is what it is. We got to use the bank, but we're using the bank for transactional purposes, not to store your money and to keep it there. But I know our people, we like to see all this big money in the bank, right? So we're educating you. Yeah, keep some money in the bank for transactional stuff, paying your bills. But that's not where it's going to double. Now I have some people that say, well, Ladetta, I'm getting 9%, 10%, 12, 20, 30, whatever. Woo, woo. Okay. But is it safe? Because I don't want when you're 65, you tell me, girl, I used to got a lot of money back in the days, you know. I had $1 million. I had a client told me, Odetta, where were you when I had 400,000? Where is it now? Where is it now? So I don't want nobody under my watch. Call me and tell me, Odetta, I had $500,000, but I ain't got it no more. So guess what? One of my books, right, talks about we want to be rich and we want to stay rich. We want to be rich and we want to stay rich. We don't want to be rich today and then we 65, 70, 80 or 55 and then we're like, damn, I made some bad decision. I didn't know what to do. Things happen. No. Okay? So with a variable account, yes, you could make a lot of money, but you could also lose a lot of money. So are you really in control of your future? Are you really in control of your future? If you can make a lot of money, but you could also lose a lot of money. And then you have index accounts, which nobody knows about. This is where we come in. Because now the 5%, the wealthy people knows of index strategies. So with index, you have the best of both worlds. Your money is safe, just like the bank, and your money is growing, just like with the stock market. So ask yourself, out of these three, which is the best? Do you want your money to be safe? You want your money to grow? But do you have it? Do you have both? Where your money is sitting right now, are you at risk of losing any tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, next week, next month, next year? Right? Is it in an index account? And then we talked about taxes, right? So we got to pay for ourselves. Everybody should be paying themselves first. Rule of thumb, minimum 10%. Ladetta, how much should I save? Minimum 10%. Everybody else is going to get everything else. The 90% is going to everybody else. Minimum 10%. but you got to know where you're going to put that 10%. So assuming you're making $60,000 a year and you set aside 10% in that account that grows at an interest, right? So $500 a month, $17 a day. Guys, we're spending it. How about if we were saving it? How about if we were prioritizing and saving that $500 and we know where? Because some of us are saving it, but we don't know where to get the most bang for our buck. So if you know where to get a guarantee growth on your money, guarantee risk-free on your money, where you will never ever lose a penny, in 30 years, you look up, you got almost $800,000. And the best part, it is 100% tax-free. Now, you may have $800,000 in your bank account. You may have $800,000 in your 401k. You may have $800,000 in your tax-deferred account. But is it tax-free and is it risk-free? You see these two things? Tax-free and risk-free is a game changer to your finance. If you got your money in a tax-free environment, it doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter what law they make. You're untouchable. And what if you were getting 10%? That's over $1 million. Over $1 million. Now, I have clients that tells me, oh, that I'm doing good. And then when I look at their statement, they got over $1 million. And I'm like, oh my God, why? Why is it in this account? So you got $1 million in this account, but it's not tax-free. Tax-free money means more money. You see, we got to understand this tax game because nothing is going to get cheaper. And the more money you make, the more tax you're going to pay. So making money is great, but we got to watch for the taxes because taxes and stock market risk is what's going to erode your wealth. So where you putting your money? You ain't got to believe me. I spoke with a client today, right? And she's like, well, Dad, I got to do my research. Okay, let's read. Let's read, okay? Let's read. So I sent her some books to read. I didn't write those books. So Time Magazine talked about retiring the 401k. Forbes Magazine talked about why Index Universal Life might be the new 401k. We ain't got to do the research. The research was already done by credible source, which has nothing to do with me or our organization. So what is a 401k? Because most people have a 401k. A 401k is a tax code given by the IRS to tax your money on the harvest. Guys, when I start learning this stuff, I want to teach it to everybody because it's like when you really understand what this code is, it's to tax your big money. That should make us mad. This is a code to tax your harvest. So the more money you have, the more taxes you pay. Let that sink in. So now that you really understand this 401k, is that where you really want to max fund your money? So the more money you make, the more taxes you pay? Think about it. No. Right? And then Wall Street found that it was easy to convince the middle class. You see who they're fooling again? Who they're scamming? The middle class and the poor people. Because we're the one that's drinking this thing like Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid. It's easy to fool us. Wall Street found that it was easy to convince the middle class to put all their money. Oh, I love when people tell me, oh, that I'm doing good. I'm maxing out. I'm like, no, you do not want to max out because you're going to have implications down the road with taxes. It's about the taxes, people. You don't want to have a lot of money in these accounts because you don't get to keep all of it, right? And then Wall Street is going to hit you up with these fees. So you got two things that's going to erode your wealth. You got taxes, which we have no control, and then you got charges. whether you make money or you lose money. That should make you mad. You still gotta pay fees even when you losing money. Who fooled us? You see why we need everybody to be learning this stuff and teaching this stuff to your community? You ain't gotta be high energy like me, but just teach it. Right? And then this book. Oh my God, I wish I had wrote this book. I gotta meet Jake Thompson. I have to find a way. I'm gonna call Jake Thompson. I gotta talk to Jim. I gotta meet this guy because listen, I'm like his biggest advocate and I don't even know him. And from the name, you could tell he's not black. Okay? From the name, you know Jake Thompson is not black, right? So Jake Thompson wrote this book, Money, Wealth, Life Insurance, How the wealthy. So wait a minute. If they're doing it and they got a lot of money, why am I not doing it and I ain't got no money? I got to follow what the wealthy people doing. You hang with 4 millionaires, you're going to be the fifth one. Banks have their money in IUL. Banks, okay? So when you tell me, oh, Dad, I don't want to put my money in this IUL thing, well, honey, your money's already there. You're just not the one getting the 12%. You're just not the one getting the tax-free benefit. You're just not the one getting the risk-free benefit. You're just not the one building wealth. You're the one being robbed. You're the one being scammed because your money's already there, whether you want to put it directly or not. Because all the major banks have cash value policies. And they're not getting it for burial. Bank of America, 19 billion. Chase, 10 billion. Now, this book was written in 2013. Right, where's my copy? Right? This book was written in 2013. Do you think these numbers went up today, 2025? Up or down? What do you guys think? I'm going to call Jake. His phone number is right here too, right? What y'all think? These numbers went up or down? Duh, of course it went up. So we are sleeping, people. We are sleeping on the money game. Why are banks placing billions of dollars in cash value index policies? Is it for burial? How much people they plan on burying? No, it's not. Something they know that we don't know. But we found it out. This is why we're teaching this to our community. Right? It is not insignificant that banks place billions of dollars in life insurance. It's a reflection of the value they place on this powerful asset. You see how they're classifying it? Powerful asset. And you and I over here thinking it's just a policy to bury granny or to bury yourself. Wrong, 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 wrong. Right? Stability and growth. But guess what? It's not just the banks doing it. It's not just the banks doing it. Every time I show this book, everybody got something in their house right now from one of these companies. So why these companies got billions of dollars in something that I'm showing the average person that they could do to change the trajectory of their own family? I told my dad yesterday, I said, Daddy, with the information that I have, we are the Black Rockefellers. We are the Black Rockefellers, the King family. Everybody be getting on board. My dad took 8 years to come around. But guess what? It's never too late. AT&T's on this list. Heinz Ketchup is on this list. Pfizer is on this list. Avon Cosmetics is on this list. Verizon, my cell phone, is on this list, right? CVS Pharmacy is on this list. Panera Bread is on this list. Starbucks is on this list. Office Depot is on this list. ODataKing.com is going to be on this list. Jake Thompson got to rewrite this book and start putting our names in this list too. Because we on to the money game. Well, guess what? We live in America that has the most millionaires in the world. So we are set up, all of us on this Zoom today, and those of you that are live also watching me on Facebook, shout out to you guys, right? The wealth gap is widening, people. The richer is getting richer and the poorer, well, you know the saying. The top 1% controls the majority of the wealth. We got to change the statistics, and it starts with financial education. You cannot make the best decision if you don't have the information. So we're going to teach this information to our community. So you ever wonder, how is the rich keep getting rich? And the poor, well, they just stay poor for the most part. So the United States has 21 million millionaires. This chart shows the top 10 countries in the world. If you live in America, we already set up to win. Many people want to come to America, and we're in the land of the free. We're in the land of opportunity. We're in the land of milk and honey. And now that we know this information, game over. 21 million millionaires. So we're in the right soil. We're in the right soil, right? We're in the right place. So there's this concept called single-handed versus multi-handed. Most people, right, are employee, which means they're trading their time or hours for dollars. If they get sick, they're not going to make any money. Yeah, you might get your sick time, your vacation time, you're going to max that out, but after a while, it's done. You're trading your time for money. Then you have the self-employed, which is just, you own the job, but you're still trading your time for money. You just own the job now, but you still got to put in the time. But Robert Kiyosaki talks about the cash flow quadrant. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Read that book, right? Anyone on the right side, this is where we are teaching our people to be. Yeah, we all going to start with a job, but we don't want to stay at the job. We start with the job, yes, but the goal is to elevate. Now, yes, I know that everyone is going to want to be a business owner, but if you have this education, financial education, you can make your money go to work for you. So a business owner with a system that whether you show up or not, you're making money. McDonald's, the owner of McDonald's, he's not flipping burgers. He's not even in the building, but he's going to make money, right? So it's about having a business with a system that whether you're there or not, you're going to make money. And then because you're going to have the financial education, you're going to know what to do to make your $1 turn to $2. And that $2 is going to be what? Tax free. Okay? It's going to be tax free and it's going to be risk free. So now you become a smart investor. Because guys, I'm telling you, in the 8 years I've been in this business, so many people that I sit with, they say, Odetta, I did good, but I could have done better if I knew this information. I did good, but I could have done better. Even me. I did good, but if I had known this when I came to America in 1995, I would have been way ahead. But we don't know, right? We don't know. And a lot of you can probably relate to that. So here at WFG, we have a hybrid business model. It's like a franchise. We operate with a franchise model, like a McDonald's or a Starbucks. Whether you show up or not, you make money. And we're in financial services, which is the largest industry in the world, $109 trillion. So real estate is big, but not bigger than financial services. Guess what? A real estate license will put you in the house. But the license that we're going to get, well, I already got mine, but the license that you're going to get is going to help keep people in that house. Okay? It's going to help keep people in that house. And then when they die, the kids are going to get the house. And when the kids die, and so forth and so forth. No more black people dying. And it's like crying. We broke. No. I spoke with a client today. Tears of joy. Tears of joy. I said, girl, you got to come on board. You got to tell your story. You have to be a business partner of mine. People need to know that your mom did the right thing and you did the right thing, and you're going to teach this information. Tell your story. Please come and tell your story, because we need more stories like this in our community, right? So we operate broker agents model like real estate and mortgages. Guys, this is the best business model, and I'm not saying it because I'm in it. Everything that I know about finance and business is because of this business platform. I did not learn this at NYU. I did not learn this at St. Francis. And I'm not even learning this at St. John either, right? So you are in the money-making business, okay? So if you were thinking, oh my God, that I got to find something else to do to make some extra money, you want to thank the person who invited you tonight. And you want to take a serious look at this business opportunity, because number one, we operate with faith and integrity. You need a license. I can't study for you. I can't give you the license. You need a government state license. The government has to give you permission. The government has to do your background check. The government has to do your fingerprint and all that stuff. I had an attorney got rejected from this business. Okay, an attorney. Go figure. Something minor, but we got it fixed. He had to do some extra stuff, but we got him on board. Okay, that's how serious it is. So we're going to educate families to build wealth, to protect themselves. And when you help people save money, not spend, save money smart. The more families you help, the more money you make. To God be the glory. When I was in corporate America, I didn't care if you could afford a penthouse. I'm selling you the penthouse. Swipe your credit card. I don't care if you're going to be in debt and you're going to take 5 years to pay off your credit card. Now, I'm on the opposite side. I'm making sure you can afford a penthouse, okay? I'm making sure that you can afford a penthouse. Don't be go spending your money crazy out here. We're saving money over here, but we're saving money smart. So, somebody saved $500 a month in a strategy. That's $6,000 going into their account. Whatever the account they're setting up for themselves, that money goes to them. Who is paying you and I? The companies that we use to open that account for that particular client. So let's say it's Transamerica, because that's our parent company, right? As an associate, the second block's 45%, because training associate is the entry level. Entry level, you're studying for your license, you're getting your field training. Part of your field training, we have something called 4x4, because we have a system here to follow. And that proven system moves you up the rank as long as you follow the system. So now you come in, you're brand new, you're like, oh my God, that I want to make money. Okay, hold your brakes. We got to get you licensed. We got to get you trained. You got to complete your 4x4. What is 4x4? 4x4 is doing 4 things in 4 weeks, right? Now we get you promoted to associate. You have your license, woo, woo, right? You help a family save $500. You make $2,700. If the person saved $500. Now, not everybody's going to save 5. Some people are going to save 50. Some people are going to save 100. Some people are going to save 2. Whatever. They're saving money and you're helping them. That's the point. The mission before the commission. It's about serving and helping people first. And the more people you help, the more money you make. Right? It's simple. Now you want to be a junior broker, marketing director. Now this is where to move up, you want to find people who also want to do the business. To move to an associate, that could be your mom, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, your best friend, your boyfriend, whoever, right? But to be a junior broker, marketing director at 62%, now that is you and 2 licensed people who are going to do the same thing because they want to do the business. Now you're up at marketing director, 62%. Again, the same work. Somebody's saving $500. Now you're going to make $3,720. Now, in the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. So don't be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Listen, when I first started this business, first 2 years, I didn't know nothing and I was making money. I didn't know nothing and I was making money. All I had to do was set up the appointment, put them in front of my trainer. Set up the appointment, put him in front of my trainer. Set up the appointment, put him in front of my trainer. And he did all the mumbo jumbo presentation, answer question, running this, doing that. I saw that over and over and over and over and over. And then I was like, okay, Aaron, I got this. And eventually, now I'm solo. So in the beginning, just like a job, right? When you guys start your job, your first 90 days, you might be shadowing someone. You might be working with someone in the job to kind of get you up to speed with the office process. Same thing here. You're not going to be by yourself. And we don't want you to be by yourself. And you cannot be by yourself because you don't know what you're doing. And this is people money. And this is people real life, right? That they work hard for. So now you're like, oh my God, look, I'm doing good at that. I love this MD thing. And I want to, I'm talking to more people and more people want to do the business with me. Boom, you move up to SMD. SMD means you have minimum 10 licensed agents. 10, okay? Senior marketing director, minimum 10. So now, whether you show up or not, do you think, even if all 10 of them are not doing something, out of the 10, what are the possibility that a couple of them are running their business? Of course, if you have 10 licensed agents, a few of them are going to be doing their business. Some are going to be doing more. Some are going to be doing little, but it doesn't matter. You just give somebody an opportunity to change their life. And even if it's just to make an extra $1,000. Guys, in this business, a lot of the big leaders, including my mentor, Jonathan Marion, he started this business just to make $1,000. He was 18 years old when he started with this company. Just to make an extra $1,000 to help his mom, who is a single lady, a single mom. Today, Jonathan, 39 years old, is making almost $2 million. Right? I didn't have any expectation. I just wanted to come here to learn about money because I was tired of losing money when the stock market going down. And here I am, 8 years later, a senior broker. I didn't come here for the business. I didn't even come here to make money. I just came here to get help. I just came here to learn. I just came here to understand where can I put my money where I'm not going to have to be yelling at Jason because the stock market went down and I just lost $5,000 and I don't like losing money. Right? So, senior marketing director, let's say I help somebody save $500. Right? That's over $4,000. Right? And the company has a lot of bonuses. Right? Like right now, if somebody helps a client save, 15,000 points, you get extra 10%. Like every month you could get an extra 10% just for helping more families. Is your job giving you 10%? No, jobs are not giving you no raise. Here, every month you could earn an extra 10% on top of these numbers that you're seeing here. Because the company wants us to go out and educate more families about personal finance and help people. So, as a senior marketing director agency owner, let's say you have 5 agents that you're working with and they're helping families save $1,000 each, right? Personal, that is you with your pen, you can make $10,000. Guys, don't let these numbers fool you or scare you. We all got to start from the bottom and work our way up. In this business, some people are more seasoned. Some people come from a background where they're already out in the field, they're doing sales, they're talking to people. my background, I came from corporate America. I was already in a leadership position. I was already teaching. I was already training. I was already out in the field, negotiating deals. So it came a little easier for me, right? Some other people may come here and they may struggle a little because maybe they're timid. Maybe they don't have business skills. Maybe they don't have leadership skills. Maybe they don't have, but it doesn't matter. Everybody is going to win here as long as you follow the system, you do the work, and personal development, right? If you're committed to helping people, you will win. So, would you rather shrink your dreams to fit your income? Hell no. We're going to go out here and we're going to make more money to live and fit this big dream, right? So, life is all about choices. You can control your time and have freedom. Increase your knowledge. Build multiple sources of income. That is always going to be the goal. You don't want to have one source of income because if you lose that one source, you could be homeless in America easily, right? Have flexibility, right? Create a lifestyle. Guys, we travel so much in this company. Like every 3 months, we're going somewhere. We just came back from, where were we? Oh my God. No, so we went to, where were we this year? Oh my God, I forgot. But anyway, we're going to, in July next month, we're going to Dallas for a convention. I've never been, did I been to Dallas? I don't remember. Then right after July, August 29, we're going to be in Panama. And in September, I'm going to South Korea. Like, hello, would I have ever done that in corporate America? All on the company expense? And if it's not the company expense, it's things that I can write off because it's a business expense, right? So the lifestyle is crazy. My mom is still talking about Israel, okay? She's like, when are we going on another trip? Yeah, we're going to Panama, Mom, okay? We're going to Panama. Get your passport ready. It's expired right now. And then, most importantly, you're helping people. You're educating families, right? At our pop-up shop, I had like 5 kids that were here with their parents. And I'm like, oh my God, like these kids don't even know me. But someday when they grow up and they're adults, I already know when I'm in my nice nursing home, somebody who might be the doctor, who might be the manager, who might be the supervisor, somebody's going to be like, oh my God, you're Odetta King? I had a policy. You were my write-in agent. Duh. Hello. You are educating and helping families, and you're creating, like, the purpose is beyond, like, this is like the gospel. This is, instead of the Bible gospel, this is financial gospel. You are blessing people. You are helping people. You are making a change and difference. My Aunt Yvonne, like almost every time this lady comes to the office and we have an event, somebody's saying, oh my God, you were my teacher, right? She's made such I got to give you your flowers, Aunt Yvonne. You've made such an impact in a lot of students' lives that every time she comes to this office for an event, there's somebody saying, you taught me in Guyana, right? That's impact. So let's think about changing our future. You might be doing good, right? A lot of us are doing good, but there's nothing wrong with doing better. So together, let's build a better future, right? You could decide, you know what, Odetta, this sounds great, but I don't know if I want to start a business. That's okay, right? Business is not for everyone. You could become a client. You could learn more about financial strategies for you and your family, right? You could be a member where you attend our workshops, or you could do the business and get both. For $125, you do your initial background check. You pay $30 to get your licensing course material. Guess what? And you off to the races, right? You off to the races. So there's this famous quote that Bill Gates said, if you're born poor, it is not your mistake. But listen, now that you got a piece of this information, now that you have access, now that you know that there's something better or more, if you die poor, it's your mistake, okay? Because now you have access to this information. Now you have access to us. Now you have access to the person who invited you. If the person who invited you, don't know much, they are part of this organization that they know who to call to help you. Come on board with us. Help families. Start with your own community, because I don't know who you know. I don't know the Haitian community. I don't know the African community. I don't know the Jamaican community. I know people, but I don't know everybody. But together we can make a bigger impact, bringing this information in more churches, bringing this information in more schools. Thank God for Vida. And how did I meet Vida? A client that I helped years ago referred me to Vida. And now Vida is on board with us and we're going into schools. I would have never gone into these schools if it wasn't for Vida. I don't know who you know, right? So with that being said, right, when you come on board, if you're like, oh my God, Odetta, like I said, this sounds good, but I'm not sure about the business. Well, you could be a member where you have access to us, access to attend the workshops, access to learn. Or let's say you're like, well, this sounds good, but I don't know, I'm a little skeptical. I don't think this is for real. I just want to learn for myself. You can do that too. When you pay $125, you could be a member where you have access to our platform. You could come and learn, right? We have workshops every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Okay? 7 and 10, depending on your schedule. And you're going to learn. So this is what got me on board. As an educator, when I attended the workshop back in 2017, right? I was like, oh my God, I don't even know this stuff. I don't know none of this stuff. So immediately I signed up on the spot. Back then it was $100. I just whipped out my American Express and I'm like, I got to learn this stuff. I got to learn this stuff and get my money right. And after attending 3 workshops, I saw the value. And I said, you know what? If I didn't know it and I graduated from NYU, there's probably a lot of other people who don't know this information either. So I signed up, I started attending the workshop, and then I went through the licensing process and got my license, right? And you're looking at someone, even as a professor, I failed my license two times. The third time I got it, right? And I say this to say, some people will come on board and they're like, oh my God, I haven't studied in years, Guys, if you fail, it's okay. Because guess what? Nothing comes easily. And this is a license that will pay you more money than your PhD. Because we have a lot of doctors in this business, right? We have a lot of nurses, a lot of people in the medical field. We have FBI, we have attorneys. And listen, they will never make the kind of money at their job that they're making here. We have Dr. Farmer that's making 10 million. We have Levi Bonnie that's making 8 million. We have Jonathan Marin that's making 2 million, right? We have a doctor that just crossed over 500,000, $500,000. We have Myra who just was doing her tax practice, just less than 3 years, crossed $500,000. You're not going to make this type of money at your job, with all due respect, because we have a lot of people here with multiple PhDs, right? And they could be at the top of their career. They're not going to make $1 million, right? And if they do make $1 million, it's not tax free. Okay? It's not tax free. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for being on tonight. This was our business presentation. I want you guys to get in touch with the person who invited you so you could give us your feedback. What are you leaning towards? Are you on the client membership side? Are you like, oh my God, I love everything. I want to learn. I want to make this money. I want to get my license. Come on board, learn, and then you earn. That's it. You're going to learn, and then you're going to earn. By July, you could have your license. Today is June 4. All it takes is 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe if you're somebody busy, 4 weeks. Get that license. No license, no money. Okay? No license, no money. You ain't got to know everything. You get the license, you set up appointments, you put the people in front of me or whoever the trainer is that we're working with, and you start building your practice. You do this long enough, this business is not only going to bless you, but it's going to bless your unborn kids. Okay? Your unborn kids. The founder of this company, Uncle RT, okay? They've put things in place for 10 generations deep. People that are not even born yet, things are set up for them. So this business, depending on if you build it big enough, it can bless people who are not even born yet, okay? So thank you guys so much for being on. Licensed partners, or partners I should say, licensed and non-licensed, stay on for a couple more minutes. And thank you guys, everyone. We do this Money Mastery every Wednesday. And next Wednesday, we're going to have a special segment. Actually, let me show this. Next Wednesday is 11. So next Wednesday, we're going to have a grand opening for, drumroll, my aunt, Yvonne Norville, who is the catalyst of our family. She's the one that really was the pivot. What do I say? She's really the one who was like the go-getter in our family. She was the business person. She's a teacher. She's the one that if anything happened in the area, in the family, in the scheme, they calling on Auntie Yvonne. And today she's in business with me, and I'm forever grateful because she's alive and we get to run it up and be the Black Rockefellers for our generation and our family. So please, 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 we invite all of you to hear her story, hear her journey as we do her grand opening, and she's been doing an amazing job. So when someone gets their license, we do a grand opening for your business because a lot of people don't know you for being in this industry. They know you for whatever your career is, right? So you get your license, we celebrate you. And then the following week, June 25th, oh my God, this lady is so special. I went to school with her son, right? Damian Burrows. Who knew this? When I was going to school in Guyana, thank God I was always a good kid, okay? Because if I had some animosity with him, probably it would have come out right now. But to God be the glory, right? And now today she's also in business. She's an educator. She got a license, and we're going to be doing her grand opening on Wednesday, June 25th. So I want you guys to come back and hear these incredible stories from these individuals who have left. Well, they haven't left what they're doing. They're still doing what they're doing. Miss Helen is retired. My aunt is still teaching. So you're going to hear from different people, their journey and how they're blessing their community now that they know this information. So the same link that you're on right now, you guys will get reminders. Come back if you want to hear it again. And just hurry and come on board, get your license so we can do a flyer for you and have your grand opening. All right. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you tomorrow for our financial education workshop, right? So if you are a member, or even if you're not a member, all of this week, we're extending our workshop to the public. So again, the person who invited you, they can give you the password and the code to come on 7 p.m. tomorrow and just take a look at what we're doing. It's financial education. You can never go wrong. I tell people, worst case scenario, you're going to know what to do with your money. If this business is not for you, you don't want to do the business, that's okay. Who do you know? Who do you know, right? And worst case scenario, you get your coin stacked, all right? See you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. And business partners, hang on a couple more minutes. And Facebook, hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hey Mom, hi Miss Williana, hi Wayne Bob, Fedrix, Sashi, Michelle, thank you guys. If you have any questions, please, you can message me, 973-842-7927. Thank you guys so much for watching.